Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sorry about the recording quality on this. My camera messed up, so I'm using my computer, but I'm going to be screen sharing most of this video anyway, so it's not going to matter. You're not going to have to look at me. Um, Today, I really want to talk about data and lists. So, a lot of people always ask me, what are the best lists to pull? Where should I be getting my data? And most people who followed me for a little while know that I pretty much use PropStream mostly, which is awesome. It's $99 a month. You can get 10,000 leads a month, which I don't need anywhere near that, maybe even half of that a month. So, PropStream works really great. The only caveat to PropStream is you're basically getting the same data as everyone, which sometimes you want to have a little advantage over your competition. You want data that other people don't have, which is why some people really preach those driving for dollars lists, because essentially a driving for dollars list, whether you're doing it virtually over your computer or like real life in your own market, you're the only one writing all those addresses on the list. You're going to be typically one of the only people skip tracing and calling those people, because they might not be coming up on vacant, absentee, tired landlord lists and things like that, because they just look rough. You don't know what's going on. They just look rough, right? So a driving for dollars list is a unique list. And also you can pay more money, of course, and get better data. Like there's some sources for probate leads, there's some sources for divorce leads, so you can get different types of leads, bad credit, things like that from different sources. So today I wanted to talk about the two main sources that I use, what I use, when, for what, why I'll use one over the other in certain situations, and why I'd use one over the other in other situations. And then I want to get into skip tracing just a little bit. I'll do a more in-depth video on skip tracing later, but I want to get into skip tracing just a little bit, because half of the battle is the data as far as who we're looking for. The other half is getting their accurate phone numbers and actually being able to reach them, right? So we're going to dive right into that. You guys, this might be a little bit of a longer video just because these are some pretty broad topics. Obviously, I can't go too into detail about everything because it's YouTube. Like, it takes so long to even upload a 20-minute video. So I do have a class coming up. It's totally free because so many people have really been asking me how to get involved and started virtually wholesaling. So I wanted to take a day. It's probably going to be like a 3-hour Zoom meeting. It's limited. So I'm going to put the link down there. It's free, and sign up. I'm going to try to go really into detail about 3 important things, which is lead generation, which is pretty much what we're going to be talking about today, but I'm going to go really in depth into it. Lead generation, acquisitions, and dispositions. So those 3 are the 3 things that you really need to get down pat, and your essential duties every day as a one-person wholesaling team, or even if you have a couple VAs, if you're the person who has to generate the leads and you have to get the deals and you have to sell the deals, you're pretty much a one-person team, right? So I'm going to go into all of that on that day in depth. That's why it's going to be 3 hours. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about the 2 sources I use, so PropStream, and then the other one is GeoPoint Data. So they gave me like an affiliate, so it's wholesale.com, and I'll put that link down there too. So if you guys use that, obviously I make some money. If you guys use my PropStream link, I'll make a little money, like residuals off whatever. So that's cool. But besides that, these are the 2 places that I've pulled lists from and gotten deals from, and that I can vouch for. I've never pulled a list from ListSource, but I have gotten lists from like people on Fiverr. I have gotten my own, like, pulled the whole tax delinquent list. It was trash. So these sources, I actually pulled some decent, really, really good lists actually. PropStream, of course, we're going to go through it, basics, and then hot wholesale data. It's different. It's cool. Let's dive in. I'm going to share the screen now. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, well. So I'm going to pull up PropStream. So you're starting a new market, you want to pull a really great list. You get PropStream free trial. It only lets you pull like 50 leads. So you're going to end up having to get the $99 a month thing anyway if you're getting PropStream. But you get PropStream, you've chosen your market, you've done all the research that we talked about, you're ready to go, you're ready to pull your first list. So you're here on PropStream. Okay, what am I going to do? So if you took my class, you know what videos to watch and exactly how to get your hot zip codes because I explained it. But if you didn't take my class, you can go to on YouTube to Max Maxwell Cash Buyers List Hack, I believe it's called. And that video shows you how to pull hot zip codes from list source. You're gonna do the same thing. You're pretty much just gonna reverse engineer it for PropStream. So you're gonna look up the hottest zip codes in the city by figuring out what houses sold in the last 6 months most for cash in what area. And you can just do that through PropStream filters. So once you have your list of hot zip codes, you're in here, you're ready to go. I'm going to use Vegas for an example because that's where I live. So I'm going to start with 89147. We're going to pretend this is the hottest zip code in the city, and we're going to search that. So now you're going to get into your filters. This is kind of how you stack and build your list. So say this is your first list you're ever pulling. This is my suggestion. You can do whatever you want. This is what I did and it worked for me. I went for like a straight vacant list because I feel like, okay, it's coronavirus. What kind of property would somebody be willing to sell right now? Probably something that no one lives in. So if you said no for owner occupied, but you didn't put vacant, it would only be absentee owners. So somebody who doesn't live there. So a property in which the owner doesn't actually live in. So it could be a rental property, it could be family living there, or they could just be getting mail somewhere else, like a P.O. box. So this doesn't guarantee, you know, so you want to put vacant, and then you can put any for owner occupied just in case, you know, their name was the last one to get mail there and it's still considered owner occupied, but it is vacant. And then property characteristics. I like to make sure that I put residential and then single family. You can also do multifamily 2 to 4, 5+. It just depends on what you're looking for, but I would just go for single family. If I'm brand new to wholesaling, keep it simple, maybe throw in multi 2 to 4 because that's not really that big of a deal. I would save apartment buildings and stuff for when you gain more experience in your market. So single family. MLS status, I don't want it to be on the MLS because we're looking for off-market properties. This might still show some failed listings, but that's okay. That's still good. We're not going to do anything here. Ownership info, I want them to have at least owned it for 3 years. Some people say 10 years, some people say 5, whatever. I don't know. I feel like 3 years is sufficient for me. That's what I did on my first list. I ended up, my first deal, that 15K deal I made a YouTube video about, the dude bought that in 2018. So imagine if I would have put like 5 years or 10 years, I would have never got that deal. So that's why I don't, I really suggest like, don't just listen to what everybody says, kind of do things your way and try it. So for a first list, I would do 3 years. Now that I've pulled so many like different lists in the couple markets that I'm in, I do like 5 years, 10 years. But in the beginning, if you bought a property 2, 3 years ago, and with the intention to fix it and flip it, but you didn't have the money, or with the intention to rent it out, but you found out it was a bad deal, it was a bad investment, you're going to be trying to get out of it now, right? So that's motivation. So I wouldn't say just because someone just bought the property. If they just bought it in the last 6 months or year, yeah. But I think 3 years is pretty good. Short little rant about that. No liens, bankruptcies, valuation and equity. So again, this is my first list ever. I'm going to try to get the most equity. As you pull more and more lists, you're going to have to end up, you know, going a little bit lower, but you can put 99 to 100% equity. And that's pretty much it. So vacant, residential, single family, it's not on the market, 2017 or earlier, which is at least owned it for 3 years, 99 to 100% equity. There's only 101 properties in this zip code that fit that criteria. So if this was my first list I'm pulling, right, I would pull this 100, And then I would move on to the next zip code, and I would do these exact same filters again. And you have to like screenshot this, write it down, whatever. So you're doing the exact same filters. That way, when you actually add them to the list, you add them all to the list on PropStream, and then say you're in your Google Drive, or sorry, this is shaking so much. I have my laptop on my lap, but say you're on your Google Drive file, your Google Sheets file, or your Excel file, or however you're going to be organizing this data. You can name it 89147, 89146, 89145, list, vacant, 2017 or earlier, SFR for single family, 99 to 100%, 99% equity. So now you know exactly what kind of list you pulled. And this is super important, because if I would have known this in the beginning, I would have done it, and I wouldn't have been like paying for the same leads to be skip traced 2-3 times. Make that list so specific that the next time you pull a list, you make sure to not pull those same people. And then another source, it's called REI Sift, SIFT. It's like $50 a month. You can put all your lists in there. Like every time you get a new list, you can add it in there, add it in there, add it in there. It'll actually like stack it for you and show you which people are on multiple lists. So you can take those people off your list and then have your list skip traced. Every time you get a new list, you don't have to be skip tracing the same people. Because I probably have a good 30, 40 people that are on multiple lists, but I didn't know. So that's 30, 40 people that I might have skip traced 7 different times. That's 350 skip traces. And you multiply that by 15, 20 cents a skip, it's not cheap, you know what I mean? And then like, imagine doing that for 5 years as a wholesaler or something. So REI Sift is a cool tool for that. There's a way you can supposedly do it through Excel. I'm not that tech savvy. Like I'm still just writing things down on paper sometimes. So I don't know how to do that on Excel, but REI Sift does it for you. And then basically that would be my basic first list. People ask a lot of times, like, how can you make sure it's a super highly motivated list or something like that? So let's say I took out a couple of these filters just to get us more. So let's just say it has to be vacant and 99 to 100% equity. Still not a lot. I'm going to change the equity to like 60%, just so we can have like a bigger list. So, well, it's really not that much bigger, but whatever. So say you have a list of like 1,000 or 2,000 and you want it to be more motivated, you can go to quick list choices, and they have one that says senior owners. That would be pretty good if you did senior owners and then you did property characteristics and you put minimum stories too. So now you have like senior owners with a 2-story house, you know what I mean, who have a little bit of equity in it. And then you can even take out vacant because they're going to live there. So this might be senior owners with a 2-story house, right? These might be people who are motivated to move now because they don't need this. But at the same time, these are going to be people living in these properties. So that's a different kind of battle. But if they're ready to go, they're ready to move to a 1-story downgrade, then, you know, you'll have these, this could be a more motivated list. It's kind of like, what problem are you trying to solve for them, right? So the reason why I say vacant is good is because right now, what problem am I trying to solve for them? The problem that a lot of people don't have a lot of access to extra cash right now because of COVID. People lost their jobs and whatnot. So if I'm trying to solve the problem of getting cash in people's pockets, then them having an extra vacant property that they can sell and make some money, I can solve that problem. If you're trying to solve these people's problem of their life is challenging because they live in this big 2-story house and they're getting older, and you can help them move, and you have services that'll help these people, you know, smoothly transition from this 2-story house they probably had so many memories in, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be like an empathetic person that can really relate to these senior people who need to downgrade into a house for whatever reason. They might have health conditions, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to solve that problem for those people, then go after a list like that, like this, a senior owner with a 2-story. So those are just some different ways you can play with these filters on PropStream. And the more creative you can be with the kind of list you pull, the better, honestly. So that is my PropStream list quick tutorial, I guess you could say. That's like the most important things on PropStream, how I pull lists on PropStream. And of course, the longer you're in a market, the more narrow and narrow you're going to get. You're going to have to start doing more equity. You're going to have to get away from just vacant properties. And, you know, you could do a tired landlord list, which is like someone who's owned the property for 20 years and it's absentee, so it's a rental property, obviously. So that's another list you could do. There's so many different lists and so many options. But really, the most important thing is to pull the list and call the list, right? So that's PropStream in a nutshell. I'll show you guys wholesale.com. This is like my landing page kind of affiliate thing. So this is the biggest difference between GeoPoint data and PropStream is two things. There's the premium data, which is expensive, but it's like actually verified. Like they make sure these people are actually motivated people. And then there's the stacked lists. So this is similar to stacking your list on PropStream, but this company is really different from PropStream in the fact that they own the data. So I learned like some new things about data and where it comes from and everything. So there's people who resell data, which is like, I guess technically me with this website, right? I'd be reselling their data. But I'm not really selling it because I'm not making the money. Like I don't know. That's probably a bad example. But you could say like, for example, REI Skip or Batch or something. They're buying their data from somewhere and then they're reselling it to us, right? But these people own the data, so they're just getting it from themselves. And when you get a list from here, it has the craziest things in it, like PropStream, of course, you have all the property information, the mortgage, the taxes, everything about the house, right? These tells you everything about the people, like their race, their credit score, low income, high income. So I think one of them was even like, did they graduate high school or not, college or not, like just really detailed information about people. So I thought that was really cool. You can start off, I think it's pretty much the stacked lists are where you want to be at here. Non-stacked, you can just get something simple off PropStream, right? So depending on how many leads you get, it costs. If you get 1,000 leads, it's going to be 11 cents a lead. That's if you don't want them to skip trace it. If you say, yes, contact info, please, it's going to go up in price, of course. And I think it's going to be like 20 cents per record or something like that. I don't know, but it'll show it. So say you say, yes, I want contact info. You can enter your zip code, or you can add more. So let's say I want to add a couple more, so I can really get a lot. Say I just want to pull one list, one nice big list. Okay, so I got my zip codes. Say I want it to be an absentee owner, which you could do on PropStream, right? Now here's the little cool part. So data stack motivator flags, all of the selected motivators or any of the selected motivators. So do you want to have all of them or just any of them? Let's go with all of them. So I want it to be absentee, but I don't want it to be vacant. It can be a rental property. I'm cool with it vacant or not, so I'm not going to put that. High income, low income. Well, let's go with low income because I want them to be people who need some money right now. And then low credit. Nah, we can leave it. Likely to be distressed. So this is something I wanted to talk about. I want to show you guys what it looks like if you do likely to be distressed or not. But likely to be distressed, it's going to give you a lot less leads, but they're going to be really, really good ones. I don't even know how they get this, but I pulled a likely to be distressed list of only like 200. I think it was like 186 or something like that. And I got two really, really, really good leads from that, which are probably going to be deals here soon. So 1 out of 100 leads being a deal is really good, because I can pull a list of 1,000 from PropStream and get 2-3 deals out of 1,000. That means if I got a list of 1,000 from likely to be distressed, I probably would get 10 deals, right? When you think numbers wise. So yes, it's way more expensive, but this is like probably the only way that I've found in wholesaling to pull a super, super specific motivated list without actually having to like drive for dollars yourself and spend all that time, or pay someone to drive for dollars, right? So this is cool. I'm not going to click this now because I'm going to show you, because I'm going to do the whole city just so we can get more properties. But I think this is like the coolest filter, and this is one of the main reasons that I tried GeoPoint data, and then why I actually am using it and I really like it now. It's more expensive. Obviously, if you're going to be paying 15 cents to buy the leads and then 15 cents to skip trace it on REI Skip, that's 30 cents. Or you can pay them for the whole thing. Their skip tracing is good. I just feel like it's really, really similar to all the other ones, REI Skip. So if you're comfortable with a different skip tracing service, you could get your data from here, skip trace it somewhere else. Or you could get all in one, get your skip trace to data from here. So low income, absentee owner. Let's do single family and 2 to 4plex. And then advanced filters. So you can say when you wanted them to sell it, square footage, year built, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put owner age just because I want it to be someone who's probably ready to sell a house, not someone who just got a house. So let's say 45. And then market to loan value is the equity. Let's put that up to 70%. And then you put this up all the way, because if you pretend you're going to buy a lot, they'll give you the most that are available. So let's see how much are available for these zip codes I chose. 70. So that's not a lot. So let me change a couple of my filters to broaden the search. Let's get these off because there are a lot of condos in town. So absentee, low income in these specific zip codes. Let's choose all of them. And the other cool little thing is this: exclude leads previously purchased. If you have an account with them, it leaves them out. I think with the PropStream, like more premium subscription, you can do that. But with this, you could just get it automatically. So 182. So there's 182 leads that fit this criteria in these zip codes. So you could add more zip codes if you wanted a bigger list. You could do the whole city, kind of however you want to do it. But I'm going to do the whole city just because I just want to see. Las Vegas, and I'm just going to do likely to be distressed only. I really just want to see. How many likely to be distressed properties there are out here. $8,181 likely to be distressed leads in Vegas. So that's a lot. Vegas is a huge city with like 2 million people. So that's probably really accurate. So you could just go like this. Say you want a list of 2,000 and 2,000 leads skip traced will be $920. So $920 divided by 2,000 makes it 46 cents per lead skip traced, okay? And that's likely to be distressed leads, so it's 20 cents extra. So that is a really good price. If you got your leads for 15 cents and then skip traced them for 15 cents, you'd be at 30 cents a lead, and it wouldn't even be likely to be distressed. It'd be whatever list. Or if you were doing prop stream, you probably would pay 250 bucks for a list of 1,000, 200 to 250 bucks for a list of 1,000, depending on how many records you got back. So for 2,000, you're looking at 500. So an extra 400 bucks, but these are going to be way more highly motivated. You'll probably get a lot more deals out of this. I think if you have the money, it's worth it to spend. So here's the part where I talk about why I use one over the other and when I use one over the other. Prop stream, when I'm first entering a market, you have to test your market. Don't waste a bunch of money testing your market with these premium leads. Get a list of 1,000 from prop stream, skip trace it, call the heck out of it on a dialer system for 2-3 weeks, and see if it's a list, a city, a market that works for you, right? If not, if it's not something that works for you, you move on to another list, you move on to another market, and you keep using prop stream. Once you've gotten some deals in your market, then you can go ahead and move on and start getting more premium data that costs more, because now you've made a little money, you want to reinvest. So starting a new market, pulling big blanket overall lists, use prop stream. When you want that premium data, pay more and go with GeoPoint. That's pretty much the two things. So I've gotten probably 2,000 leads from GeoPoint data so far, and I just started using them this past month. And then PropStream I've been using from the beginning. So everything has deals. PropStream, I just can see that it takes a lot more calls to get it. So if you're paying a cold caller, that's money out of your pocket. You're going to spend more money on your cold caller to get deals from PropStream versus GeoPoint. If you're calling yourself and you're just trying to save money, it doesn't make sense to pay this kind of money for data. Keep using PropStream and get your deals yourself. So it's really, where are you starting off at? How much money do you have to invest? And that's kind of going to determine where you want to get your data and when you're ready to kind of upgrade your data, you could say. So basically that sums it up. PropStream or wholesale data, GeoPoint data, whatever you want to call it. Why use one over the other and when to use one over the other. If you're just starting though, definitely go with PropStream, get the free trial, get really familiar, learn how to comp, learn how to make offers with PropStream before you even buy a list. Know what you're doing. It should only take you about a week. And then the other half, what I was talking about, skip tracing. So if you have a really good skip tracing source, like a private investigator or someone who uses TLO, or you were able to find someone on Fiverr who's really good, those sources are going to be your best number one source for skip tracing. If you don't have that, then you want to use like REI Skip, Skip Vault, Skip Genie, GeoPoint data, one of those sources to skip trace. So my kind of like reliable one was always REI Skip, and I used it so long, and I'm really, really loyal to things, so it's hard for me to just jump ship and try something new. So I know REI Skip is really great. GeoPoint data, my lists that I pulled from there, and I got them to that data skip trace as well from them, it was really good too. So those are two sources I can really rely on. I tried a few others. I don't want to like badmouth anyone just because it just might have been in my market. It wasn't that great because I'm in the Midwest, and some of these places are like stationed in, I don't even know if it matters or not, but stationed in the West Coast. I don't know, but a lot of the other skip tracing services really didn't work for me. So basically all of the other ones didn't work for me. I pulled like lists of like 1,300 from Lead Sherpa. I've pulled a list of like almost 2,000 from Batch. I did just get a new list skip trace from this new company, so I'll tell you guys about that if it's good or not. I just got a list of 1,000, and I'm gonna put it head to head up with the TLO skip tracer I use. So if that's great, I'll let you guys know about it, but I don't want to talk about it until I know. So for now, REI Skip and GeoPoint data are really good. Once you get your list, you have to make sure the skip tracing is good. I wouldn't use like Lead Sherpa, or I don't think Skip Genie is good either, because then you might spend $200-300 on a poorly skip trace list, and then it's kind of like a waste of money at that point. So that's my 2 cents on pulling lists, skip tracing, everything like that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm going to drop all the links to everything I talked about today down below. Like, share, subscribe if you guys like this video. Follow me on Instagram at the Hot Wholesale. I have tons of free wholesaling content. And thanks you guys again for showing up. Have a great day. Let's have a killer week. And I'll see you guys next week.